girls. On this video today, you will be learning how to use ALEKS. First, we will explore ALEKS together. Then I will give you some steps for how to learn from a video. And finally, on one slide, you'll see a summary of the steps so that you can try it yourself. Okay, so we're going to go explore ALEKS a little first. There are some minor differences from last year. You will still have some choice, but you're going to have to work through the big topics in the same order as we would in a class. Let's go check it out. Alright, so here's your student view. When you first log into ALEKS, this is what you'll see. Remember, these three buttons in the top left-hand corner, that'll take you to your menu. In the past couple weeks, you've been using a lot of quick tables. Now we're going to start using My Path. And to get to My Path, you'll click Learn. Now, this is the first option that shows up for me. If I click this down arrow here, I can see what other topics I can do. So when I select the topic, you'll see that the first thing you have to complete is course readiness. Once you've completed about 90% of the topic, it'll let you move on to the next one. So I'm going to look at topic 1 because I think that applies more to what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to choose Introduction to Properties of Addition because I like addition better than multiplication. Oh, and look, see the little locked button? Can't do that until I've finished addition. Alright, so we're going to hide that now. The first thing it's going to show you, or should show you, is the explanation. Okay, so this is the explanation page. This is where you can read through and learn about what you're about to do. Alright, let's go back to how to learn from an educational video. Okay, in this part, I'm going to show you how to learn from ALEKS. Remember, an educational video is not a movie. You can't just sit back and relax. You got to do a lot of work yourself. So now I'm going to be going back and forth between two screens. I'm going to be looking at ALEKS, and I'm going to be using this PowerPoint to show you what I'm saying. Okay. The first thing you want to think of are what are your learning goals or your objectives. On ALEKS, you can see at the top of your screen that our topic name is Introduction to Properties of Addition. So, you are going to be using the back of the math notebook for all of your ALEKS My Path notes. So, open your notebook now, turn to the back, and we're going to set up your notebook with a little title or goal for the video that you're about to watch. The title will be Properties of Addition, as you can see at the top of my notebook page. Now, when I am watching a video, I want to use the pause, play, rewind button often. Excuse me, not remind, rewind. Okay? If at any point in time you're getting lost or distracted or you didn't quite understand something, this is the time to press pause. Now, if you go back to ALEKS, you'll see that not only do we have this explanation page, we also have the option for a video. The video will open right on your screen. You simply press play and it'll give you some examples. Now, unfortunately, I have a little issue with my computer. The sound isn't working. But you'll get the chance to watch a video all by yourself at some point. Now, if I go back and close this, I can simply look at the written explanation. This is just like a textbook. I can also use this to make my notes. Let's take a look. When you're taking notes, the first thing you want to make sure that you include are any keywords or vocabulary. When I look through this page and I look at the explanation, I can see that I have three parts here, A, B, and C. The commutative property, the identity property, and the associative property. While I read through those notes, I want to be taking notes. So for example, with the commutative property, it says, the order in which we add two numbers does not change the sum. So the missing number is 5. 5 plus 6 is the same as 6 plus 5. This is the commutative property of addition. So in my notes, I wrote the commutative property. The order of addition does not change the sum. Do you notice that my definition is not exactly the same as the one on the ALEKS page? That's because the best way to take notes is the ones that you understand in the words that you understand. So as I continue through the video or through the explanation page, I continue taking notes. What else do you notice about my notes? Well, hopefully you noticed that I used different colors. I used red to identify the vocabulary word, and then normal pencil to write the definition. Another thing that you might include in your notes are steps to follow. If I look at the explanation page, this is more of a vocabulary type exercise. This does not actually have steps for how to solve a problem. So I'm not going to need that type of notes here. The next kind of notes that you might need is an example problem. Example problems are directly below the explanation. Notice my numbers are slightly different because I set this up before using a different slide. So I've got some examples, and I put these examples in blue. I chose blue to help it stand out from the vocabulary. Some people think that using different colors helps them with notes. Other people might find that simply underlining things or circling things help them as well. Do what works best for you. I have written the original problem of the example in blue and then the answer in pencil. This will help me to identify what the original problem was and what the work was that I had to do to solve it. After you have gone through all the notes or all of the video, at the bottom you will find more practice. This is where you will start applying what you learned. I'm supposed to fill in the blanks, then choose the property of addition I used. Well, if I look at both sides, it needs to be the same sum, so I'm going to add a 3 here. And based on my notes, I can tell that I'm dealing with groupings, and that's the associative property. You'll continue through the problems like that. If you need, you can do some problems in your notebook. If you need scrap paper to solve something, you can do that as well. Some other hints for you to keep in mind while you're doing a video. Take everything in small doses. Don't try to do everything at once in long sessions. We learn better if we spread it out a little at a time. Don't try to do everything the night before a big test. Learn a little bit each day. Our second hint is to pause and try the practice problems. Many times after you watch one practice problem, there will be an additional problem to see if you understood. Pause the video, try it on your own. If you get stuck, press play and listen to the teacher explain. If you're able to finish it, then press play to see if you were correct. Finally, you're gonna get to try it yourself. Go to ALEKS, choose Continue My Path, and use the suggestions from this tutorial to learn. First, select the topic of your choice. Set up your notebook with the title. Then read through the learning page. If there is a video, watch the video. Unfortunately, at this point in time, not all have videos, but we'll get more soon. Finally, write some notes or steps, do an example in your notebook, and try some problems.